You've come home for cultural sustenance. Oh, you mean you wouldn't thought? You're Australian, you can't think.
No, I said I wouldn't call it home.
What would you... No, I didn't say home. Home, culturally. This is your home. You see, when our prisons were overcrowded with convicts and criminals, we had to find some way to send your ancestors. That's how Australia came about. No?
200 years ago, yeah.
Yes, Captain Cook discovered it.
He was the first white man there.
Oh, he was the first white man. You're learning, yeah! Hey, you're learning, that's right. See how you learn from us? That's right. Don't tell us you discovered. Say you were the first white man to arrive there, meaning there were black people before you. How are the Aborigines doing?
Not very well.
Not very well. And why don't you think they're not doing very well?
I'll tell you why, because the English, when they arrived, managed to kill off enough of them.
You mean the English managed to kill off a lot of them?
Yeah.
And you now killing the rest that survived? No, I don't mean you personally. I mean, you know, the English language is a bastardized language. Singular you, plural you. When I say you, I don't mean you singularly, I mean you Australians. Are they happy?
No.
Do you know of any, listen carefully, do you know of any country in the world where they speak English, where the Anglo-Saxon culture has been put into practice, and where the English have been, and they have met black people, that those black people are all right? Shall I call you some? In America, they call it the McCarran Act. In Canada, they call it the Anti-Asiatic White Preferential Immigration Bill. In New Zealand, they call it the Selected Migration Scheme. In South Africa, they call it apartheid. And in Australia, where you are not as cultured as the Anglo-Saxon, you used to call it the white Australian policy. And in England, the mother and the most superior of the Anglo-Saxon societies, they call it the Commonwealth Immigration Act. There isn't a country in the world where the English have been to that they have not passed laws in other people's country stopping other people from going in, accepting themselves. And that is why every night I go down and I pray, please God, don't let the English get to heaven before us, because if you do, another immigration will. And in Melbourne today, you have got what you call a Commission for Racial Equality in Melbourne. But one would have assumed that if you have a Commission for Racial Equality, it will do for the Aborigines. But it isn't. It deals with the Greeks. Yeah?
Yeah.
I know. My landlady is Australian.
She must be a nice lady.
Oh no, when I went looking for a room, had plenty of sign, rooms to let, sorry no blacks. And then I saw one, rooms to let, blacks welcome. So I went with an Australian landlady, I got the room, I became a tenant. 3 months later, I was the landlord. Aren't you terrible down there? You're a mixture of immigrants. Take Canada. 60% of the present population of Canada are fucking immigrants. Don't get angry when I say fucking. It's the name of a Chinese restaurant. You can go down to Queens where you find a whole lot. Fuck you, fuck I, fuck you, a whole lot. fuck you. You like the Aborigines?
I don't know any person.
You mean you haven't actually met one? What language did you speak to him in?
English.
English. You assume he's a genius. You assume he's more educated than you. He speaks your language. My friend, any civilized or educated person will tell you that when you go to a country, if you don't like the customs, if you don't speak the language, if you don't like the way people live, all you've got to do is to leave and go back. Why did you go and change their lifestyle? Look at us blacks. When we came, we spoke better English than the English. We wanted to leave. They said, no, stay, please. We like curry and rice. Show us how to cook it. So we stayed. We have Indian restaurants, West Indian restaurants. And you ask English people, do you like Indians? No, don't like them. They smell of onion. But when you go to an Indian restaurant, all the bastards are in there. And please, ladies and gentlemen, when I call you bastards, don't get angry. Because when I came to this country many years ago, I didn't speak any English, and I still don't. And as I walked the streets of London, everybody said to me, you black bastard, you black bastard. I thought they meant, welcome to London. Here we are. We've transformed Britain. Look around. Look at it. Aren't it beautiful? Look. All these black people here, we've added a bit of color to your life. Look. Can you imagine getting up in the morning and everybody look white? Horrible! Well, look around, eh? Isn't it nice? Say thank you. We are here to stay. And you know there's something the English would never understand? 40% of the black population of Britain were born here. You can't tell them to go home. The Africans made one mistake. They should have eaten you bastards out. Why you think you force the Africans to speak English? Every time they spoke, you wanted to know what they said. Because you could have stand up there and he would have gone, I will put the bastard in the pot and boil it. When you were in India, we didn't find hot tandoori powders yet. Otherwise we'd have curry your ass. You know, in the Caribbean, when you talk about Hitler building concentration camps to kill people, and Hitler creating a stud farm to produce the Aryan race, you English must look at your own history. During the Boer War of 1895, the British built concentration camps in South Africa, where more people died in the camp than died actually fighting the war. In the Caribbean, during slavery, on a little island called Barbuda, you had a stud farm where you were breeding buck niggers to plant the sugar and the Caribbean. You motherfuckers.
You're complaining about, Roy. At least you have a job.
Oh, shut up.
The pity you can't see him. Look at the average man, you can see. Our mothers took 9 months, his mother took 5. I was sleeping with your wife last night. Typical English. And these are the people, when they see black people in England today, they don't know how we came, they don't know our history, they don't...
yours, you swam the English Channel on the foggy night disguised as an Irishman.
And your father was at work and you were the milkman's second helping. Are there any more? Sorry. It's all right. You see, the only reason he shouts like that, his wife left him last night with a black man. Be nice to black people, we'll send them back home to you tonight. Relax. Relax. Look at him, he's bald. You know why he's bald? Bald? When he makes love, he put his head the wrong place. You know, he's Irish, you know. He goes around pretending to be English, but he's Irish. And you know why he's over here? He used to work in a bar in Ireland, and a West Indian brought him over here. You know, when he was in Ireland, he used to be in a bar. And the West Indian went over one day to Ireland for holiday. So the West Indian went into this bar because he heard of the Irish were nice people and they were hospitable people. So the West Indian went in and he sat there and he was having a drink. And when he looked in the lounge bar, he saw a donkey. And he thought, these Irish are funny. So he sat there and he drank. And you know, white people, they think every black man can perform black magic. So he said to the West Indian, look, you're looking at a donkey, but you're accustomed to donkey, aren't you? And the West Indian says yes. So he said to the West Indian, if you make the donkey laugh, you can drink free all night. So the West Indian went up, said something to the donkey in his ear, and the donkey went, hee 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 hee. And the West Indian started to drink. 10 minutes later, he went back to the West Indian and said, if you make the donkey cry, you can drink free all night. So the West Indian said, can I take the donkey outside? He said yes. So he took the donkey outside, brought it back in, and when the donkey came in, you can see the water coming down his eye. And the Irishman stood there in amazement. And he couldn't believe it. He kept looking at the donkey, kept looking at the West Indian. So he said to the West Indian, tell me, what did you do? Oh, the West Indian said nothing. First time I went up to the donkey, I said to him, I got a bigger prick than you. So the donkey started to laugh. So the second time I took it outside, I showed him my prick and he started to cry. Is he still here? No, he's gone. You see how you get rid of white people very quickly. So, just my American friend, USA. You mean you forgot what you were about to say? But that's typical American. You always forget where you started off from. No, I should not remember you. I should try and help you to remember, but not necessarily remember you. You mean remind you. Your English is hopeless. You were the people who stole part of Mexico. You are the people who were in Vietnam helping the Vietnamese. And when the Vietnamese decide that they were coming with you, all of a sudden they became both people. They used to be your friends. Then they became both people. What were you doing in Vietnam? Fighting communism. Have you ever seen communism? No. So what were you shooting? Communism is a philosophy as expounded by Marx and two other German philosophers, Hegel and Feuerbach. If you hate the philosophy so much, why don't you kill those 3 Germans? Why are you killing the Vietnamese? And every day we read in your newspapers, what did we read? 20,000 Viet Congs killed. American losses, not severe. Next day we read 200,000 Viet Congs killed. American losses, unidentified. I sat down one day with a Japanese calculator and I added it up. And according to your own propaganda, you had killed twice the population of Vietnam. What were you fighting? Sorry? Oh, with the Japanese calculator. And all the calculators that are made in America, at the back it says, product of Japan. When you learn to speak proper English, you can talk to me. Little Scottish colonial, how dare you?
It's not only English people there.
No, it's all right, I am British. You're Scottish. I've got my independence, you haven't got yours yet.
I'll tell you something else, pal. Liverpool's a long way.
It's all right, my friend. Scotsmen are the only men in the world who goes around the world wearing a skirt. And if you want to know if they have anything under the skirt, you have to look for the dandruff on the shoes.
What did the Red Indians call America before the white man arrived?
Listen to his question, it's contradictory. What did the Red Indians say to the Americans before the white man arrived? You idiot!
The Red Indians call Americans before the white man arrived.
How can the Red Indians talk to white people when the Indians don't speak English?
Anyway, I'll give you the answer then. How?
Difficult. How? You mean how?
Listen to the question, will you, Pickle?
My friend, I know I am stupid. All my teachers were white. Any more Americans? Where are you from, sir?
Australia.
Where?
Australia.
Shout it, man, shout. Where?
Australia.
All the way from down yonder?
That's the one, yeah.
I mean, yeah. Says yes. You're in England now. And I feel like going to the toilet. I decide to park it. But if I see two yellow lines, I can't park. I gotta keep driving until I meet the toilet, and then I go there and expose Prince Philip. Did you understand that? That is subtle. What I'm basically saying that Prince Philip is a prick. Subtlety with the English language. Now you Americans don't understand subtlety at all. As a matter of fact, you don't understand the English language. That's why when you meet the English people, they laugh at you. I mean, I don't laugh at you. I mean, I look at you and say, my God. When God made the Americans, she was only joking. I don't want to be around when she's serious. You're really something else, you know. I mean, look at you. You look different. He looks different. Are you American, sir?
No.
Where are you from?
Germany.
You're from Germany. The war is over and he's over here. What are you doing in England?
We're visiting a university.
You are visiting a university?
Yeah.
Hitler came to visit one too.
Answer my question about Karl.
In a minute, I'm talking to a German, please. The British won the war, they're better off. I mean, Britain won the war, he's here visiting a university, and English people can't go on holiday. Relax. Are there any English people here? Look, I know you're out there.
We're all in holiday.
Eh? Are you English, sir? Where are you from? He doesn't know. It was too dark when he left. As soon as I ask people where they're from, white people, they go all red. Look at it. You're German, aren't you?
Australian.
You're Australian. And your parents came from Germany, Ireland, where? Scotland. And why did they leave Scotland to go to Australia? Be honest. I mean, it's difficult to be, but you know. A better life. You mean they stayed in Scotland, they look on the crystal ball, and they saw better life in Australia? Were you born in Australia?
Yep.
Have you ever seen a live Aborigine? Did you say hello to him? You said hello in English. Did he speak English?
Yes.
He spoke English. Did you speak to him in his own language? Why not? Well, you're in his country. Why you don't learn his own language? I mean, I come to England and I learn the white man's language. You're in the man's country. Why don't you learn his language? But you mean he's clever than you. He learns yours because he has more brains. And you're dumb. You can't learn his. When you come to England, don't you speak in English? Right. You speak to the natives in their own language. So when you're in Australia, why don't you speak to the natives? You never thought about that?
No, I have thought about that.
You've thought about it. So you decided you're going to learn Abo.
No, it's because fortunately where I come from, it was transmitted as well.
Where you come from, you don't see many Aborigines. You mean you killed all of them up?
That's exactly right.
Yeah, that's funny, you know. That's exactly what your ancestors did.
I'm proud of it.
I know, you're nothing proud of, nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, you're having a nice life. I mean, you're having such a good life, you come to England seeking cultural sustenance. Catches you then. Welcome. No, welcome to... I thought you weren't Jewish just now.
I don't have to be Jewish to be persecuted by someone.
Is Farrakhan persecuting you?
Yes, he is.
How?
Because what he believes, he doesn't actually persecute me, but if he had his way, what he believes, the white man is not equal to the black man.
But you're a Jew, you're not white. The Jews are a Semitic race. According to the English Oxford Dictionary, Semitic means black.
Oh, you're white, that's right.
You're not white, you're not Jewish.
I'm white.
No, you are one of those who came because of integration. And according to Judaism, Jews don't believe in mixed marriages and integration. So you relax. Do you like the Jews?
Yeah.
Nice people.
I don't know.
You don't know Jews? Well, meet one. You see, my brother, you should go back and read your European history. There were some Jews who thought they were more Germans than the Germans. They changed their names to Hoffman and Kaufman. We'll come to that in a minute. Because at the end of the day, Farrakhan is saying, as I understand it, that there are 30 million black Americans in the United States. Most of the cosmetic the woman wears are made by white companies. Farrakhan is saying that black people should produce the things black people need so they can go and support their own industries. But I know why the Jews are against him. Because at the moment, you are producing what the blacks want. Churchill was a good man?
Maybe.
No. Now, you are German. You are visiting a university.
Okay, he was
I
a good
assume
man.
that you are an intelligent German.
Yeah.
Remember when Germany surrendered in the Second European Tribal War?
Okay, Churchill was a good man.
Remember what Churchill said? That they must bomb Dresden to create the maximum fear in the German civilian population? And you like Churchill?
Yeah.
The Germans are really stupid, aren't they? There is a man who is bombing your country And you telling me he's a nice man? No wonder Hitler mesmerized all you stupid Germans.
You know, I'm not. I don't believe that it's important where country I come from. I'm from the earth.
Oh, you from the earth?
Yeah.
You should be a Hare Krishna. They come from the earth and that's where they're going back.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, but I mean, you come from a country that's got a history.
Yeah.
Your people started 2 wars.
Yeah. But that's not my history.
It is your history. If Hitler had won the war and he had conquered England and he had sent you as governor of London, would you say no? You would not me to deal with. It's easy for you to say he was a madman.
No, I didn't say that.
Oh, you didn't say he was a madman?
But maybe he was. I don't know that.
Maybe?
You know, I'm from the. It's important that you're from the earth and the countries are coming closer together.
My friend, you are opting out. You are cop out. You are a German. Yeah. You travel with a German passport.
Yeah.
If you don't like the German government, why don't you travel with an Earth passport?
What can I do? I must have any passport. It
You don't need passport.
For me, but for the
when
others.
I came to England, I didn't have a passport.
Yeah.
I stowed away on the bananas.
Sure.
That's why you
Can I
eat it.
throw away my passport?
Pardon?
Throw away my passport award.
But my friend, Germany was responsible for millions of people getting killed.
Yeah.
I'm not blaming you.
Yeah.
I mean, you even had colonies in Africa.
Yeah. You too?
No, I never had any colony.
You're English?
No, I'm not English, I'm British. Can't you tell the difference? I'm not English. How can I be English?
Yeah.
I mean, look at me. Look at him. He's Australian. Maybe Scottish English, look. Celtic. I mean, I don't look like him. Shit. I mean, I'm much more handsome than that. I mean, look at him. Did you know that, my friend? Did you know the Arabs and the Jews are cousins? Ask him. They all came from Abraham. And Abraham was black. Some you white. What do you do for a living?
Student.
You're a student. Are you a student here? What are you doing in England?
Visiting.
You're visiting. You like it?
Alright.
I have never met an American who doesn't like England. And that's what I'm worried about. Because everywhere you go and you like, you take over. I'm really worried about it. Do you like it enough that you would want to stay?
No.
You don't like to stay here? It's too small.
It's crowded.
What?
It's crowded.
England crowded?
Well,
You're talking about black people again. We're only 3 million. I mean, I know you white people, every time you see 10,000 black people, you think it's a million. Any more Americans there? Why you look so serious, my friend?
I'm enjoying. You're an excellent prophet, and your tactics are excellent, and I'm admiring. I wish I had your gift for repartee.
Very easy. Come to England and wash dishes. Get a job driving the buses, and then try looking for a room. And when you go for a job, an Englishman says to you, do you have any experience? You will say, no, sir. Sorry, can't employ you. But nobody will give you a job to get the experience. You go to a job in the buses, they say to you, yes, we have vacancies. Are you a member of the union? No, sir. You have to get a union card. So we go to the union. Please, sir, can I have a union card? Have you got a job? No, sir. And when you've gone through that, you will develop a sense of humor and the repartee that we develop while we're here. We never went to school. All black people are stupid. Oh, yes. All of us are stupid. All our teachers were English. I mean, we've got to be stupid. We allow these people to come to the Caribbean. Where, I don't know, have you ever been to the Caribbean?
Yes.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Lovely to look at the land, but it's sad some of the things that are going on.
Where? The Caribbean?
Yeah,
Now you're talking about Central America. You're talking about Latin America. I'm talking about the English-speaking Caribbean, where we don't have many Americans. You got plenty Americans in Bolivia, plenty in Colombia, plenty in Brazil, plenty in Venezuela. That's where all the drugs are. But why are you Americans worried about drugs? I mean, historically speaking, when the British controlled China, the British signed a treaty with the Chinese in 1840 called the Treaty of Nanking, which forced the Chinese to use opium. And while the Chinese were sluggish, they brought all the porcelain to London. So what are you worried about drugs? If I was the president or the prime minister of Jamaica, I would legalize ganja and I will export it to you. And while you're asleep, you're gonna take what is ours. Why are you worried about drugs? Do you use drugs?
Yes.
You like drugs?
Sometimes.
What do you use? Hashish?
Marijuana.
Marijuana? Where does it come from?
I don't know.
Comes from Jamaica. They call it shit. You use drugs, young man? You don't use drugs? Do you drink coffee?
I drink coffee.
It's not drug?
It's drug, but it's a legal drug.
Oh, it's a legal drug. You see, once the white man says it's legal, it's all right. And that's the trouble with Western government. That if you could legalize ganja and marijuana and cocaine so you can get money out of it, you'll bloody legalize it. You're a consumer, commercial-oriented society. Anything for...
Not anything.
Ask him. I'm sure he will agree with me. Ask him. Ask him. You will do as I tell you. Ask him. You're in my meeting now. I'm the chairman here. And what are you doing in England?
Seeing the country, looking around.
How long are you here for?
About 5 more days.
5. How long you been in all?
I was in Ireland for
No, how long you been in England?
just got here.
You just got here?
Just got here.
And you're going to spend 5 days looking at the whole country?
Oh no.
Are you sure you're not a CIA?
I don't think so.
Well, you don't look European. Your ancestors probably were Southern Europeans.
Half and half.
Which half?
Irish and Italian.
Irish and Italian?
Yes.
So you are the son of an immigrant?
All 4 of my grandparents were born in Europe.
All 4 were born in Europe. Listen to that. And he's an American. Those Red Indians was living there for hundreds of years. And they're still natives. Any more questions? Any Australians there?
I'm sorry.
What are you sorry about? Don't do it.
I'm curious about Salman Rushdie.
You worried about Salman Rushdie?
I'm not worried about him. I'm just curious about him.
Well, if you're curious about him, are you a woman?
No, I'm not a woman.
So why are you curious about a man?
Well, I'm just curious as to how...
Hold on. You are in England. Use the English language to express yourself. Now, come on, let's start all over again.
Sorry. So sorry.
That is suit you. That is
One
suit
question I might have that I could possibly ask you. Salman Rushdie is a man who wrote a book.
Salman Rushdie was born in Pakistan. He is a Pakistani. Now leave him alone.
That's not my question.
Go and worry about Shakespeare. Why are you worried about black people for? Leave him alone.
Just curious.
What are you curious about? He wrote a book called The Satanic Verses, where he insulted the Muslim people. That is the price you pay when you are not sensitive enough to recognize and understand other people's religious beliefs. So he's got some white policemen in black uniforms protecting him. What are you worried about? And you Americans are so stupid, you heard about him and you gave him £750,000 for the next book, which you haven't even seen.
It just amazes me how one person can create such anger, such rage, that they would want to kill him just because he wrote a satirical book about a religion that is his.
You call blasphemy satire?
It's blasphemy to you.
My
that's
friend,
how
right.
it is.
You know, there was a play over here called Perfidious. It was a play about Jews. How the Jews helped the Germans to kill Jews. And you know, when the play was put on in Sloane Square, the Jewish community went out there, wrote letters, and they protested, and they had to take it off.
The missionary
Wasn't that satire?
But did they say that they were going to kill the author? Did they say, let's kill the author? Let's put a
No, the Jews don't tell people they will kill them. They just tell Shamir, and Shamir send Mossad. There was a there was an Israeli who was working in Israel's plant where they were making bombs. He went to Australia, came over here, and he gave a big story in the Sunday Times. And Israel says, we have no bombs, we're making no bombs. Yet they kidnapped him in Italy, took him back, and tried him for exposing secrets when they said they were not making any bombs.
You're talking about a government.
No.
You're talking about individuals.
No. How can you separate individuals from government?
Because government's an individual.
My friend, I'm an individual. You got a girlfriend? Where is she? Where? Is that your boyfriend? See, even a black woman feels sorry for you. She's I mean, you remember your history. I don't have to tell you that.
Yeah.
When you called on Britain and France to redivide the African continent, 1876, when capitalism and production boomed in Germany, Germany called on Britain, France, and Spain and Portugal to redivide the African market. That's how the Germans got colonies. Dahomey, Togoland, Tanganyika, Zanzibar, they're all German colonies. Southwest Africa. How did you get it?
Yeah.
You
mean?
Also like it. You see the trouble?
I have trouble with
The
the
trouble
language,
with you
know?
young Europeans, especially you young Germans, they don't teach you your history.
No, I have difficulties now because that's not my natural language.
What,
you know?
English?
Yeah.
And why are you visiting a university here for?
To learn
They
English
gonna
and to
speak
learn the culture.
You coming
Yeah.
to England, to
Yeah.
university to learn English?
Yeah.
My friend, don't be stupid, you're going the wrong place. You must do like us black people. We came to learn English, we went into a pub, we met an English barmaid, 2 nights later, our English was perfect.
I hope the same will happen to me.
You hope the same will happen to you? But most of the barbaids now are Australian. You want to learn English with an Australian accent?
Yeah, sounds good.
Sounds good. Everything sounds good to you. Are there any English people here? My dear, don't run away, come. Come. You're going to the toilets, are you? Are there any English people here? Where are you from, sir? Don't look behind you, yes. Sorry? You're from Scotland. One of your lost cousins has arrived from Australia. Would you like to take him home and give him a skirt? What are you doing in England? You're studying in England when all the universities were originally built in Scotland. You're coming to England to study where Pakistanis are teachers. Don't worry, in 5 years' time all of you will end up speaking English like Peter Sellers. Where are you from, sir? Europe and gone to black people's country and oppress them and enslave them and kill them. But nowhere in European history or black people's history will you ever read that black people left their country and came to European country and killed them or oppressed them. The only black man who left Africa was Hannibal. And he rode through Italy. He didn't stay overnight. He only rode through, and half of the Italians look like me. We've been here 40 years. In another 10 years, the average Englishman will look like me with a Jamaican accent. Yes, sir.
Did not the Moors come to educate Spain and southern France?
But my friend, when the Moors ruled Spain, they ruled Spain for 700 years. The Moors turned back in Spain and did not Islamize the Spanish population. The Spanish people were allowed to remain Catholics, despite the fact that the Moors were Muslims. And isn't it true that the Moors turned back and built the first university in the world for secular learning, the University of Cordova, that still stands today? Name me one university, white man, that your people built in Africa or India or the Caribbean. One. Our people were more civilized. Not like you barbarians.